the Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken. I had not thought such a thing was possible. Until, of course, Cain shattered the blade against me, and for the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity. Willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host.
Hey everyone.
Hi guys, Soul
We're
Reaver
both
2.
sick. Zeke
And
got me
I'm
sick while I
here
was up there
now.
for Christmas. Hooray!
Yep. I got him sick just for today. For a special occasion.
The original plan was to have him on Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2, but just schedules didn't work out. So I'm happy to have him on Soul Reaver, the second one.
He is on controls because,
Yes.
you know, stuff. So
Because I own the
I'm
game
just
and
chilling.
I have the
I'm just sitting
equipment,
here. I'm gonna ask questions about what the hell is going on because I did not play nor watch the first one.
Well,
So,
okay.
yippee.
Soul Reaver is a sequel to Blood Omen. And basically, a guy named Cain became a vampire. And then he changed several people into vampires to be like his big vampire people, right?
Like biblical Cain?
They call them his lieutenants, right? And
Oh.
Raziel was his favorite. That's the guy in Soul Reaver,
The main
right?
character. Yeah.
So, over time, they start to change. Over thousands of years, they evolve, right?
Ooh.
So, Raziel evolves wings. And for this accomplishment, he is his wing bones are ripped out in one fell swoop. Like he literally just grabs his wings and rips the bones out.
Yum.
And then they toss him into a whirlpool. And an eldritch entity. This game's fun. And an eldritch entity basically saves his life so that he can get revenge on Cain.
Ah, that's fun.
So then at the end of the first game, they actually talk about the cutscene from the end of the first game in the beginning of this, so I'll let them do it. But basically, it introduces being able to time travel. This is a game about vampires, by the way.
Yeah.
But one of the things I actually really love about this series is it's very post-human. You know, there are humans around, but they're literal just chattel. No one cares, right? There are people, and there are even vampire hunters, but nobody cares, right?
Of course.
So let's go ahead and start Soul Reaver 2.
Yeah. So this game is about vampires like JoJo is about vampires.
Yes.
I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? As such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for it. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan Cain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not?
How could he?
One must keep his friends close, Raziel.
Raziel used to be a priest that fought vampires.
better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nazgul from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are open, Cain. I find no nobility in the unlikely.
It's spelled with a K like Mortal Kombat.
On my unwilling corpse.
He vampire raped him.
You may
Yep.
have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it.
Like Nosferatu.
You think
Yeah.
the Sarafan were noble, altruistic?
That is not a date movie.
Oh, don't be silly.
No, it is not.
Their agenda was the same as ours.
Half-Life 1?
So this cutscene, it looks like they didn't have the original assets, and they like AI upscaled it or something, because there's like
Yeah.
weirdness.
It's a little weird and swimmy.
It promises more twists before this drama.
I thought that it might have been a stream artifact. I didn't know that was in the actual
No,
game.
that's in the actual cutscene. Like literally,
okay.
when I beat Soul Reaver, I went and recorded some intro footage for the intro of this, and I was like, "Wow, this is kind of a downgrade." Because I showed you Soul
no.
Reaver,
Yeah.
and Soul Reaver looks cool, and is a big improvement over the original graphically, right? This
Yeah.
one, it's less pronounced, and it's I don't know, it's weird.
Don't you have Blood Omen for PS2?
The PS1, but yes, I have
PS1,
Blood Omen 2
yeah.
for PS2. Yes.
Ah, cool.
And Messiah, welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny.
Frick you, Mobius! Get out of here, Morbius.
I can hear that cat purring into your mic.
I'm so sorry.
Where
That's
am
all right.
I?
She's sitting in my lap and being nice, though.
In your case, when might be more apt?
Very well, you old snake. If you'd prefer I use my bare hands,
His bare hands.
Well, this is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
you can drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Cain. Some 30 years from now.
You two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
So I assume this is
How is it that you
taking
know
place
my name?
directly after
Never met.
the first game?
Raziel.
Basically, yeah.
I know
He
you very
jumped
well.
into the time stream, talked to
It grieves
Mobius,
me
and
to see
now
how
he's here.
cruelly Cain has used you.
Got
I
it.
knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate race.
Racist.
Slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
Fair.
And you somehow survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The circle was devastated. Only we three were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me, sir? Your malefactor, Cain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Cain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel. Let me show you.
So, funny thing, the guy who voices Raziel
Even now,
also
Cain
voices
has
Angelica's dad on
unaware
Rugrats.
had snatched your
Oh, really?
time
Yes.
stream
That's
and brought you
hilarious.
here to me.
So there is a
See how
meme
he
floating
lingers
around
at the very pillars he is
of,
destined to destroy.
Raziel
Foolishly
in
confident
one
that
of
he
his
has
scenes
your
from
eyes.
Rugrats.
The pillars are still standing in this time.
That's funny.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Cain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Cain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril. You may never again be human, Raziel. But you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But do what you have to do.
You're
All
great.
Great movements
Yeah.
require a few martyrs.
Alone,
I want to work for that
I
guy.
surveyed my
Right.
surroundings and noticed a
I'm not going
second
to explain
time-stream
anything to
chamber.
him. I'm just
Its
gonna let you
entrance
kill them.
identical to the first,
Okay.
but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how? I had not yet discovered.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to show you the meme later because it's funny.
Oh, yeah.
So these are bad guys. I don't know anything about
They're
them yet.
bad guys. They're goblin dudes.
They're Goblin Mans.
Yippee, goblin mans. I kind of miss when all games were like this. You know, man? Just this feel. Ooh. Feed, you say?
Yes, he feasts on souls instead of blood like a vampire.
Hence, being the Soul Reaver.
He reaves those souls. He does.
He do be reaving them. Hell yeah. That was awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The combat's pretty satisfying.
When did this game originally come out? Like
This one
2005?
was like 2001.
Oh wow.
This was a very early PS2 game.
can switch to the old graphics, right? Or is that just in
This
like...
is the old graphics, yeah.
Oh, wow. It still looks pretty good.
And then this is the new graphics.
Yeah. Honestly, this is just a really good remaster. I'm glad they've been like... Aspyr has done a few things.
Yeah.
They usually
This one
try to
was
keep the
mostly Saber.
soul. Yeah. But I've never seen their remasters get like a Shadow of the Colossus treatment, where if you look at Shadow of the Colossus on PS2 versus PS4,
Of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Cain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me. Vampire rape.
So, what were you saying about...
oh yeah, sorry. If you look at Shadow of the Colossus on PS2 versus PS4, the remaster, the color palette is completely like drained. It's dark and like gritty looking when the original was very bright.
No, it wasn't.
And yeah,
No.
comparatively, because essentially what they did is they just took the contrast and brightness and just went yoink on the textures, and it's way darker looking.
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay, you want to see a side by side? I can send you one right now.
Feel free.
Away from the influence of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning. If that orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade, it gave Mobius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But why, I wondered, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
Because... problem with the Soul Reaver is if you take damage, it goes away. See, now it's gone.
Yeah. He's so Soul Reaver.
I'm very Soul Reaver right now.
Here it comes.
Like the skybox and like the shadows just make everything way darker. When it had almost a Silent Hill-esque like drab,
Oh, sure, yeah.
but brighter. You know what I mean?
It had a
where
very
now-
foggy sort of thing, and they removed the fog. Yeah, they did that.
Yeah,
It looks like low contrast. Yeah.
yeah.
don't think that's
That's
an
what I'm
issue.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I think it takes a little bit of the. I don't know. It's a slightly different feeling. I don't think it's like the biggest issue ever. Like, I still like that remake, and I have played the original on emulation, which obviously is not going to be as good as playing it on the actual machine. But
How do I drop a sword?
I don't know, man.
Because you used to be able to throw them. Mm-hmm. Which was fun, because you could actually throw it and impale people.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were all kind of like big spears. Because you're fighting vampires, so you need to impale them. To the point that if their soul is still flying around, and you
didn't impale them, they can get back
the
up.
weapon out of them, they can get back up. It's really cool.
As I neared the stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, the sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was the tomb of the beloved King William the Just,
Apparently.
beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Mobius's crusade. I was reminded of Kane's journey as a fledgling vampire, how Mobius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate William, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nosgoth. And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Kane. I had not thought such a thing was possible, until, of course, Kane shattered the blade against me when he tried to strike me down.
Oh, there's a ghost inside the Soul Reaver that talks to you at some point.
Interesting.
It's voiced by Skylar from Breaking Bad.
Weapon.
That's so funny. And a gun.
And so the Reaver met its former self,
Wow.
still imprisoned in this corporeal shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long dormant spirit was now fully aroused.
Oh,
Ew.
that's gross.
This time, I felt the true presence of this other entity.
She was
Willful,
soaking. What?
ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host, felt my soul being leached to restore the blade. But the Reaver knew better than to destroy its host, and just as I neared the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiotic weapon, but a sentient parasite competing for control.
Which is funny, because that's basically Stormbringer
What have you done to me, Mobius?
from the
Is
Elric
this
series.
your trap?
How mine? Don't forget it was Cain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guide and assist you, Cain laughs at our folly and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Bound together as they are, I can only imagine what they could do to your soul's fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing. I have
That's
sought
the
only
old
to
one.
aid you in your righteous
That's the
quest.
ode.
Why, you're
Death in
trembling,
your
Mobius. Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind.
I told you to take his staff.
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk by appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this. While you threaten me, your true enemy eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Cain, old man. He'll join you in hell soon.
As you said, death comes for us all.
Yes, the wheel of fate demands it.
What did you say?
The wheel of fate. The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down would be striking God's own attendant. And I don't believe even you would take that risk.
It's like, maybe you're right.
Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Cain is waiting for me.
Go then, Raziel.
Morbius.
Seek Cain out and destroy him.
He's gonna morph all over
in
the
the
place.
name of the one God we both serve. You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
By my soul, you almost had me. My little blue assassin.
I'm definitely
That'll be the
evil.
one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
Damn you, Morbius.
I could
He was
now
only
summon the
Skyping in
blade
like
at
Luke
will,
Skywalker.
regardless of my strength. But once summoned, the blade's ravenous appetite could not be contained.
Yeah, they changed
It
the mechanic
devoured
here.
the souls of its victims, and if I allowed it to become over-aroused,
Gross.
the Reaver would now turn its hunger on me. So this was the legendary Janos Ordrin, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical vampire to have ever existed. According to folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villagers below. His reign of terror ended when the Sarafan finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still-living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness, and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Sarafan therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos Ordrin truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic license by the Sarafan, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy?
Who knows, Ben? Who knows, Raziel? Could be anything.
I don't know what those are, but they feel like they should, like it's something that I'm going to interact with in the future.
Yeah.
These are a lot like Zelda games. So
Yeah.
you end up gaining abilities as the game goes on.
Yeah.
So you can access new places. Metroid, you know, all that good stuff. No.
It's a fantastic game mechanic.
So Reaver on. But I can't let the bar get too heavy, right? I can't let the bar get too high.
Because now it'll hurt ya.
They'll get excited and then I'll have to stop.
It's true.
Because it'll start pulling from my health.
Strange how my history came full circle. This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself. All of us martyred here. And then so cruelly profaned by Cain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses. For the first time, I beheld the image of my Sarafan self, memorialized here among my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been. And
I was like a
what
super
vile
badass.
phantasm I had become. And a profound sense of injury of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain
You're
it.
not coughing a ton, so that's
All
good.
I wanted at this
Yeah.
moment was to find Cain and destroy him.
Or maybe you're hitting a cough button, which is acceptable as well.
Yeah. You caught me.